I'm Nate Louisiana. I'm so glad to be here to share my testimony about tithing. I am a music teacher in Savage, but I have been thoroughly blessed by the family that I have here at Sydney Assembly of God, being able to serve on their worship team and with their youth ministry, and I've grown so much personally. I grew up in a Christian home. I grew up in the Assemblies of God. I was always taught that tithing was an important part of it, but really that didn't become a huge factor for me probably until I got my first full-time job as a teacher. Coming out to Montana, I had no idea what to expect, how much to be paid, what the living expenses were going to be, and I had good intentions. I had the intention of, I'm going to tithe 10% of my income, and it soon became very apparent that that was going to make my budget pretty darn tight. It went from, I'm going to tithe every month to, I'm going to tithe when I can afford to every month. And that really got me into a place where I honestly feel like my budget even got more restricted because I wasn't tithing. And that to me seemed like something crazy, but what I have learned, when you tithe, you're giving to God, but then God turns that around and brings it right back on you and blesses you in return. That's the important part of tithing, is because that you are giving to Him, you are giving to the church, and that 10% doesn't belong to you. And that's the mindset that I really had to take on, was don't even budget that money. For me, that's what I had to do, is I had to just be like, all right, that 80 whatever dollars it is not even part of my budget. It's already gone. And that's really the mindset I had to take out of it, because once I started budgeting and once I started tithing regularly, I really just saw all these little things just fall into place for me when it came to just money and situations. And they weren't big things. The thing is God doesn't mean every time He's going to bless you with $1,000 or a new car or a house or whatever. But I mean, just like when I needed Him, when I needed that provision, it was there. Prime example, my car, the engine went out. I had no idea how I was going to pay for it, and so I had filled out a prayer request card and just was like, I just need, just some discernment financially what I should do. And you know what? No, there was not a big check for me in the mail for $3,000. But you know what? We got checks from the government, and then I had a bonus from school, then I had a stipend, and it all came together, and guess what? It was $3,000, and it's exactly what I needed. And the same thing, I also need new brakes for my car, and someone offered in the church to cover that expense. All through that, I didn't stop tithing, because I knew that even though I could use that $80 for this, or $80 for a haircut, or $80 for whatever it might be, that just super important that you give that to Him, because then He just brings it all back and gives it to you. And He really finds a way to bless you and bless your family. That's just the importance of giving. Our whole lives, a lot of us, we're culturally told that tithing was something you did if you could afford it. And I'm here to tell you that it shouldn't matter what income you have. It's important to tithe no matter where you are in life. It doesn't matter how little it is, how big it is. Like, God can do great things with your giving. He can bring that, and He can make huge things for you and your family.